In this video, I'll be showing you how to create boundaries based on your project's elevation in PVFARM. So in my project, I've got my terrain and I've got my boundary for my site already imported. But as you can see, I've got some pretty treacherous terrain going on here. On my terrain analysis panel, you can see it goes from about 0.03 feet to 738 feet. And I've gone in and auto-filled my ranges and colors. If you were looking for specific terrain ranges, you could change this range count. So say you only wanted to break it up by a couple, let's go with 3. You can see the system has split it up on its own, but maybe I want to go from 0 to 50, then 50 to 200, and then 200 to that remaining elevation of 738 feet. This way I can break it up in sections that I care about, like maybe past 200 feet I'm going to ignore. But to get a nice even breakdown, we would go to our ranges count being 10, which is the maximum amount of ranges we can have, then autofill, and that will give us the best overview of the terrain. So now I want to go through and let's say these yellow areas here, I want to create an exclusion zone around them because I know that I'm not going to be able to build on those because the terrain is just too steep to put arrays on. Also, I can see from the area and share columns that this is the smallest area at a single elevation, only 0.5% of the whole area. So I'm going to come over here to the plus sign where it says boundary. There's the option based on terrain. So I'm going to click on that. And we've got slice minimum elevation, slice maximum elevation, and ignore areas less than. And you'll notice the system has automatically filled in the lowest and the highest points detected in my drawing. So we're going to refer back to our terrain analysis panel. And let's say I want just this first slice represented by the yellow color here. I would put that minimum as 651.4698 and leave the maximum as 723.85 feet. And I'm going to keep this ignore areas less than an acre so we don't get a bunch of tiny boundaries. We can always adjust that if needed. Okay, and you can see here, if I turn my terrain back to transparent, you can see that now we have these exclusion zones created. If I wanted to, I could go back and make that ignore areas less than amount smaller so I can capture these smaller bits here. But for now, I'm going to open my Model Explorer and they're already selected. But if they aren't, I could hold down Shift and select all of these, then go to my object details, change them to a red color, and change them to exclusion zones. Now I'm looking back at my terrain analysis, and let's say I wanted to get rid of even more. I wanted my range to include these light green colors. So now I'm going to once again hit the plus sign based on terrain. And we're going to expand this out to right here where it says what the min elevation of that 8th slice is. I'll copy that in and hit OK. And I'll turn this back to transparent. And as you can see now, we have boundaries that cover every place where the terrain spikes up to a point that wouldn't be constructible. So now not only can you use this to make exclusion zones for where not to place equipment on your terrain, you could also use this to make areas, and then you use those areas as sub areas, and you can generate those sub areas with different equipment or parameters. Say if you're able to use terrain following trackers, you could generate these as sub areas using them. There are many ways you can use this function to help improve your process of generating a layout. Thanks for watching.